Right now, we're going through a situation where we could be seeing one of the biggest housing implosions in history. Now, if you guys thought 2008 was crazy, well, wait till you see what's going on now. Not only is Airbnb causing a massive headache in the housing market, but you also have office sales being complete crap. If you guys don't know what's going on, office sales in San Francisco, they're selling for 50% off. And some of the best office districts, like Spear Street, Stewart Street, these are all good offices. Like, we're talking about a downtown's best office location giving you guys a Black Friday sale of 50%. And Seattle's the same exact thing, right? We're seeing valuations being cut left and right. Even residential towers in major cities are being cut by half, like the San Francisco NEMA Tower. So you also have the combination of the office sector doing terrible, essentially. Then you got like the Airbnb hosting, which they're going crazy over it. I mean, it just seems like when there's a money-making machine, people just over-leverage and everyone starts doing it. And when everyone starts doing it, it's no longer profitable. And let me tell you guys, in the beginning, how everyone was just pretty angry about the short-term rentals driving up rental prices and housing prices. Well, now these short-term rentals are actually dropping prices. They're actually taking prices down to the earth. Airbnb hosting is not what it used to be, right? A lot of people, like, for example, middle class, upper class-ish, buying $300,000 houses in the gated community just south of Orlando. Generally, these places get a lot of people coming in, right? In the beginning, Airbnb, if you buy like any decent vacation location, you're going to be making a lot of money. Like, typically, Airbnb hosts are making like $25,000 to $50,000 a year. Like, and you have like 2 to 3 properties and you pay them all off, you don't have to work ever again. You just chill. So they bought this house for $300,000, even renovating it, literally just a 10-minute drive from Disney World. And they're saying that 10 months in, they haven't really gotten any large amounts of listings and absolutely 0 bookings in August. And like I said, this isn't like a house in a random location, right? This is, like I said, 10 to 20 minutes from Disneyland. And we all know that Disneyland is still expanding. They're still getting a lot of customers. But because so many people are doing this Airbnb stuff, there's too much competition, right? You probably have heard stories about people who have homes in places where there's massive sporting events. Like the situation where like this couple bought like a house right next to like the Super Bowl. And on Super Bowl weekend, 50% of the Airbnb houses around the arena were like completely empty. And it just shows you that Airbnb is no longer the profitable situation. Now, I'm sure there's hosts out there still making a lot of money, but competition is fierce, profit margins aren't as high, and there's a lot of haggling recently, right? And a lot of price cuts in several of America's biggest cities. And look at this, what a lot of people are saying on Twitter. Right here, Airbnb revenue collapse top 10 cities. You got Phoenix, Austin, all very popular cities for Airbnb. Look at this. Look at the amount of revenue drop, almost 50%. Even very popular touristy locations like Myrtle Beach, 45% drop. Panama City, Florida, this is always packed. A lot of people go here in the summer, and the profits have dropped like a third. Same thing with Orlando, which is exactly where this couple bought it. And they're kind of regretting this, right? Imagine you bought this in even August, not a single booking. That's scary considering the fact that you have to pay property tax. You're going to have to pay the sewer bill, the water bill, and several other things, including home insurance, are all very expensive stuff. Not to mention interest rates being this high, trying to offload this property is very difficult. But just given the fact that the profitability is going down, a lot of Airbnb units are actually dropping like rocks. They're actually being listed for sale online for extremely cheap prices. In certain cities and certain neighborhoods, and even Miami condos, certain buildings, you're actually seeing a massive collapse in the price of many of those units. And not to mention, do you really think people are going on vacation when unemployment is rising? U.S. labor market loosening as weekly jobless claims hit 3-month high. The unemployment rate is no longer a low of 3.3. The unemployment rate is at 3.9. And unemployment is going up because of high interest rates. You probably have seen those crazy amounts of tech layoffs. Even LinkedIn, the company whose job is to find you a job, is laying off workers. And that just shows you that it's probably time to start saving money and go on less vacations and maybe go on some cheaper vacations as well. Jobless claims are rising super duper fast, right? And it's not great at all. Manufacturing is plummeting. Consumerism, according to Walmart, consumers are becoming more and more, cautious when they buy things. So this is going to be some pretty wild stuff. Okay, I think it's going to be a very, very different situation from other recessions. It's not going to be super serious, but like I said before, with prices this high, manufacturing going down, oil prices are down, it just seems like maybe it's time to be very, very careful of the market. And with less people on vacations and more layoffs and more unemployment, guess what? Yeah, this Airbnb revenue is going to drop even further because who's going to be going to Disney World when they're broke, let alone rent an Airbnb? And the Airbnb collapse is real, guys. Like this thing everyone is talking about, this chart here, it's legit. Like if you go to Panama City, people aren't really making that much money, right? Nashville, Myrtle Beach, the competition is just so fierce. I remember Airbnb back in the old days, they made a lot of money simply because there just weren't that many Airbnbs. And the concept was so appealing that people were making a lot of money. But now you try to go into the Airbnb industry in 2023, good luck making money. Even a lot of YouTubers have bought Airbnb houses, filmed the whole journey, and they're not even making that much money. Look at this. There's an estimate of 1.3 million vacation rentals in the US, with Airbnb having 7 million, Bookings.com with 6.6 million. And this is like a huge market, right? Airbnb, Booking.com, they own large chunks of the short-term rental market, including Vrbo. And just in the US alone, 1.3 million vacation rentals. That's insane. That's a lot of vacation rentals. And many of these rentals are now slowly seeing their revenues plummet, right? And many of these rentals are actually in some big cities like these, and they're being listed on Zillow for the cheap. The Airbnb collapse is legit, right? And many hosts are really feeling abandoned. Not to mention many cities like New York City are actually posing restrictions on a lot of Airbnb short-term rentals. San Francisco, same exact thing. Many big American cities are putting this sort of restriction on Airbnb hosts, which is causing them to make less money and be more cautious. Not to mention, they got a whole entire situation with squatters recently. So this is just like a big old mess, right? Here's the thing. If you have money to buy Airbnb property, go for it. There's still a chance for you to make money. But every single hot vacation area is just so booked out. Like if you go to places like Myrtle Beach, Gatlinburg, go to Chicago, so many people are doing the Airbnb business. It's super duper hard to compete with those guys. And Airbnb rental revenues plummets, listings outpace homes for sale. Look at this, right? The Airbnb rental is slowly going down. We're seeing more and more Airbnb homes being listed for sale. And people are just a little bit scared of the whole entire market. And I don't really blame them. And I think more and more situation like this is going to come. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. We got a lot of crazy stuff happening in the real estate market. Subscribe and stay tuned.